Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock, a channel for megalithic fans who can see things from a different perspective by simply wearing megalithic lenses. In this video, we are going to check out a temple larger than Angkor Thom and Angkor Wat combined. It is so enormous that you wouldn't believe it until it is compared side by side. Unlike most megalithic Angkorean temples in Siem Reap province, Preah Temple of Kampong Svay is in Preah Vihear province. Unlike most temples which are oriented in east-west direction, Preah of Kampong Svay is facing northeast direction. It is generally accepted as a Buddhist temple, but there isn't any strong case for that. The locals call this Prasat Bakan. It is believed to be initiated by Suryavarman I. It is also believed to be the royal residence of Suryavarman II and a military outpost for Jayavarman VII. But no one knows exactly who built it and what religion is attached to this monument. It is oddly situated about 95 kilometers away from other main temples. I presented Preah Temple in my previous video with the measurements of 940 meters long by 750 meters wide. This 705,000 square meters temple with a moat is an enormous project even by today's standard. By comparison, Angkor Wat Temple is a little bit larger than Preah Temple. The measurements for Angkor Wat is 1,500 meters long and the width is 1,300 meters. The temple in the middle is the largest Hindu temple in the world. With 1.95 million square meters, Angkor Wat is a wonder of the world. Very few know it even existed. But when you compare Angkor Thom Moat Temple, Angkor Wat will look small. The 3,000 meters by 3,000 meters square temple moat will make Angkor Wat look small. A land area of 9 million square meters is needed for this temple. Would you believe me if I tell you there is an even bigger moat temple? Have you heard of Preah Temple of Kampong Svay? This temple is so huge it has its own beret and an incredibly large water tank. It has a square moat measuring approximately 4,500 meters on all sides. The moat alone takes up 20.25 million square meters of land. It even has a beret with its own mebon. To put into perspective, if Angkor Thom, Angkor Wat and Preah Temple were to fit into Preah Temple of Kampong Svay, it will only be 58% of the area size. This is an insane temple size no matter how religious you are. The total area of Angkor Thom, Angkor Wat and Preah Temple is 2,888 acres, and all three can fit into Preah Temple of Kampong Svay, which is about 5,000 acres. It is about 2/3 of the area size if you want a rough idea of how big is Preah Temple of Kampong Svay. To put into perspective again, if Khufu's pyramid, Khafre's pyramid and Menkauri's pyramid were to fence up, it would be about 170 acres. In a rough graphic representation, you can say about 30 life-size pyramids of Giza replicas can fit into Preah of Kampong Svay. With such a landmass used for a religious site, there is almost zero chance it will be forgotten in history as to who and how it was built. You can read that early scholars wrote it was rotated about 26 or 7 degrees, but it is now agreed to be about 30 degrees northeast. A simple diagram will show you that the temple is rotated approximately 30 degrees northeast. Despite the grandiosity of the project, we do not know why it is rotated at such a degree. Sunrise never passed directly through the orientation of the temple on any given day of the year. However, on summer solstice, Preah Temple of Kampong Svay will still be an awesome sight to see during sunrise. Maybe, if you consider that the Earth axis was not in the same position and calculates the year summer solstice is directly at sunrise, then you might get a very different dating of this site. My simple pin on Google Earth shows Preah Temple of Kampong Svay is located at 13 degrees 24 minutes and 32 seconds in north latitude. In comparison, Angkor Wat is located at 13 degrees 24 minutes and 46 seconds north latitude. You have to wonder what is the reason Angkor Wat and Preah Kampong Svay are both located at 13 degrees 24 minutes north latitude. This is an amazing accuracy if you try to construct two temples 95 kilometers apart 1000 years ago, where the sanctums are both 13 degrees and 24 minutes and only off by 15 seconds. If this is not a coincidence, then this must be really important. If it is really important, then this knowledge would have been recorded or passed down, written or verbally. Nobody seems to know why this extremely large temple is shaped like that. A beret that interrupts a moat is one of its kind. If there is a creativity award for design, this will surely be the champion. But since it is a mystery today, then my assumption that it has to do with the Yoni Lingam concept is not against mainstream because mainstream has none. Let's start with the outer enclosure, which is the fourth enclosure. Some articles say it is 22.5 square kilometers and therefore it is 4.7 kilometers long on all sides. Some articles exaggerate it is 5 kilometers long and use 25 square kilometers as area size. But at about 10 kilometers above in the sky, the aerial view will show you a square moat measuring 4.5 kilometers long. But actually, there are two moats. If this was done by Cambodians, then they must be obsessed with moats. Normally, one moat is considered one enclosure. But because the size of this area is so vast and the two moats are so close, they actually look like one moat from an aerial view. But for now, it is fourth enclosure with two moats. A close-up view will show that there are two moats and they are approximately 180 meters wide, measuring the width of both moats as one enclosure. The moat is not like those in Angkor that comes with laterite wall. This one has no wall. It was just dug into the ground. I will call this inner and outer moats of fourth enclosure. At ground level, this is what one moat looks like. If it is filled with water, the edges of the moat in this photo is about 60 meters wide. But the width of the moat is very hard to determine from photos. On the east moat, the width is clear and measures approximately 72 meters wide. Just for the sake of calculation, the length of the moat is 18 kilometers when stretched in a straight line. The area of the moat would be about 1.3 million square meters. Let's assume it is only 4 meters deep, just like Angkor Thom. That means ancient Cambodians will have to remove about 5.2 million cubic meters of earth. When proportionally compared, Preah Temple of Kampong Svay has more water in the outer fourth enclosure moat than Angkor Wat. If Cambodians were to dig just the moats of these two enclosures, it would be hard to forget, especially when there is a religious purpose. My calculation of the volume of water is just a rough idea because there is a mysterious break in the moat. No one knows why there is a section on the south wall that breaks the moat from being a complete enclosure. Well, that's all for now. Hope you enjoy watching this short presentation on Preah Temple of Kampong Svay, focusing on the moat, and have a wonderful day. See you next time. Lê Hai.